Peace, love, and light, Cancer, and welcome to your weekly reading. If you're new here, my name is Ty, and I'm super happy to have you. Hopefully, you'll take a look around, like what you see, and hit the subscribe button. If you're returning, thank you so much for joining me again. I'm truly grateful and appreciate all of the love and the support. Hopefully, you've already hit the subscribe button. You guys, if you don't know how tarot works, it is a general reading, so everything won't resonate. Please take only what resonates, leave what doesn't. Also, keep in mind that the roles are interchangeable, so place yourself and everybody else where you know they belong in your story. Okay, let's get into it. Spirit, I call my spirit guides, divine, to guide, protect, and assist me. Also the archangels to guide, protect, and assist me, and in delivering these messages to the collective accurately and clearly and as best as possible. Okay, Spirit, please give me the overall energy for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for this week. Yeah, okay, this is actually the Five of Swords. Cancer, you might find yourself very much so in your head, thinking about what you want to do, thinking about which way to go, or it's just something that you're in your head about. I think that you might be feeling like you want a change, like certain things are just not fair, and like you've just been going at it for a long time. Okay, I do feel like you're going through some sort of change internally, and some of you externally are going through some sort of change, and you're starting to become aware of like your own BS, right? You're becoming aware of your own bullshit. And I do feel like you're trying to move away from like the bad habits, or like your what's the word that I'm looking for? Oh my God, just like an unhealthy past or situation. The Six of Swords is coming away from turbulent waters. So I feel like you're really trying to make a change, right? How do I improve my future? Like why, really reflecting, really assessing what's going on in your life right now. And some of you might just feel like things haven't been fair for you, and life hasn't been fair to you. But I feel like Spirit here wants to remind you that in every situation there's a lesson, right? Sometimes they're really hard lessons, and sometimes they're easy lessons or pleasant lessons, but there's always a lesson to learn. And every choice that you make in everything, whether positive or negative, you're able to gain some sort of wisdom. It teaches you more about yourself. Especially those challenging situations. So I feel like right now you're just trying to, I feel like you're trying to find yourself. I feel like you're trying to get some clarity. And I feel like I said, like you're going through this change, and there's a need for harmony, or you're craving something more balanced. Spirit also wants to remind you that you get out what you put in. Okay, that includes energy, that includes, how you treat other people. Are you fair to other people? Are you kind to other people? Are you respectful? Are you loving? Are you all of the things that you want to receive to other people? What are you telling the universe about yourself by how you treat others? That's something that's really present here. Is like, are you being fair, whether this is in your relationship, or with your lover, or your friends, or your family, or at work? Because the Five of Swords is somebody who's in their head, but it also represents someone who just like wants to win at all costs, right? Someone who's kind of ruthless, right? So maybe you had some sort of a falling out, or maybe there was like an argument or something, and you could have, maybe you're like one of those people who speaks, and like you could just be very disrespectful or very like with it. And it's like the way that you react to situations, in everything that you do, you are creating karma for yourself. Okay, so be mindful of that. Be mindful of how you treat other people, and know that ultimately we all reap what we sow. But I do feel like you are trying to make a change in your life, and I do see that the universe is trying to support you in making that change. It's like there's this sense of like a second chance, okay? The Hierophant here, yeah. So I feel like a lot of you need to either connect with Source in the way that, you know, you are meditating or praying or whatever it is that you typically do that grounds you, that centers you. This is really getting back in touch with whatever it is, whatever your faith is, right? Whether it be that you go to church or your way of doing things is like journaling, but there's a need to like get into alignment and get with God is basically what I'm hearing. But this is also some sort of an opportunity. I feel like some of you might be stressed out over some things, but I feel like, and this might not be the case for everybody, but I do feel like some of you, many of you right now, are in a good relationship, in a relationship that's helping you to remain balanced, that is supportive, and it could be that, you know, maybe, you know, your own inner struggles, your own inner turmoil spills over. So just be really careful that you're not taking out, you know, your own inner struggles out with the people that you love or you care about. The Nine of Swords, yeah, somebody here, or Cancer, this again, this is, if this doesn't resonate with you, this is not your story, all right? And that's okay. If there's a message for you, Spirit is going to get it to you by any means necessary, but every message won't be your message, okay? The Nine of Swords says someone here is in their head bad, you know, and they could be feeling like they messed up, or they could be feeling, I just get the feeling of like somebody feeling depressed or down because they don't like where they are in their life. They're unhappy with the choices that they've made, and they just are, I get the sense that somebody's like, in a sense of like feeling like almost helpless, where you're just finally like, God, like I need a change. And so yeah, the Hermit. So internally, there's this internal struggle going on. There's this internal war. With regeneration here that I got in the pre-shuffle for you, this is like the Tower. So things are changing, and I feel like you're trying to find yourself. You're trying to find, okay, where do I go from here? Because I know I want more for myself. I know that I want to commit to certain things with the Hierophant here. Some of you could even be struggling with figuring out your faith, because that might be a number of you, right? Like, do I conform to like the traditional way of certain things, like some sort of, you know, denomination or something like that? You're like, okay, I want to be Christian, or I want to be Catholic, or, you know, so I feel like some of you could be struggling with that. But the Hermit here says you've been spending a lot of time by yourself. And I feel like if you've been spending a lot of time by yourself and you're trying to find yourself and you're doing the work, great. Because I'm all for solitude, spending time with yourself so that you can find yourself, so you can get focused and clear and aligned. Great. I support that 1000%. But if you are spending time with yourself because you are depressed and because you are isolating yourself, that's unhealthy. Okay? So if that's you, then it's really important that you do seek someone who you can talk to, who you value their advice, you value their opinion, they're knowledgeable. This could be somebody who is spiritual. It could be, you know, somebody just like a good friend, maybe a parent. But the Hierophant is that, right? It's like it's a mentor. It's somebody that you can go to, that you can rely on. So I would say do that. You know, share your thoughts. Don't isolate yourself and beat yourself up, right? We all make mistakes. We've all gone through times where, you know, we've had to learn some really hard lessons, again, the hard way. And that's, you know, unfortunately, like, that's part of life. Once you start to awaken from that, which I feel like you are, Cancer, it's like you have what it takes to move forward. Some of you are coming into a higher level of commitment with your partners, because I did see the loyal heart there. So if you feel like certain people just haven't been loyal to you, haven't been good to you, I feel like you're beginning to cultivate that around you. If not, then this is a relationship that you're in that's solid. You know, there's love there, a lot of love there, and a lot of loyalty, and it has what it takes to go all the way. And that's why you want to nurture it, and you want to be careful, and you want to be considerate and compassionate. Because I know that when we are going through internal struggles, that can spill over to those around us, to the people who love us most, that want to support us and want to be there for us. Okay, so yeah, All right, tell me more, Spirit, for Cancer. Oh, whoa, whoa. No? Okay, no. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for this week. Tell me more. The King of Pentacles, yeah. So I feel like there is, again, there's this sense of a second chance, an opportunity that is coming in. And like I said, for some of you, that's an engagement, okay? Ten of Wands says, it did come out in the reverse. So I feel like you might be starting to feel the release of that pressure. Okay, maybe you went through this moment in the recent past where you were feeling like really bogged down over certain things. Some of you, this could have been health struggles. Okay, that just came to me right now. Not everybody, but for some of you, it could have been health struggles. And I really feel like, you know, with the Hermit here and the Hierophant, yeah, so take care of your health. Be mindful of what you're consuming, you know, move your body, because you know, one of the things that I am super like about, you know, like I super support with respect to like working out is the way that you feel after. Like I am not, I'm not like a fan of like, and people ask me this all the time, like, cause I go to the gym, like, oh, you must love the gym. And it's like, well, do I? Like, don't get me, it takes a lot. Like I have to like, you know, really push myself to get there. And I do. But I'm not like, hoorah, I'm going to the gym. I'm not one of those. However, I am committed to going, even if I'm like not consistent like one week. Like I always make my way back because I like the way I feel after. When those endorphins are released, it helps you with your mood so much. It helps to really put you in a space where it's like you start thinking clearly, you're more focused, you will develop more energy. So I feel like that's something important to mention here for whoever this is. But the Ten of Wands in the reverse is like, you know, it's giving up on something. So I feel like, you know, with that, Spirit is also saying like, you know, stop trying to control what you can't control and control what you can, right? So if you're in a situation, you always have a choice. You can always do something about it, but there's a need for you to commit yourself to the plan. I can't make this up. Cancer, there's an offer here coming in. If some of you have been waiting to hear about a job or about money, a money situation, a law, you know, something having to do with the law, like some sort of a, you know, I don't know, a lawsuit, or just waiting on money, that is coming in with the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Some of you have been waiting for a while and have felt like there was a lot on your plate. With the Ten of Wands in the reverse, like that's just feeling burdened, right? And I feel like here comes the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, bottom of the deck, the Empress. I love that. Something told me to look there. So yeah, something's coming in that's going to make you very happy. It could have been something, again, that you waited on for a long time, or just a seed that you planted a long time ago that's now, you know, coming to fruition. You're going to start to see the fruits of that labor. Because remember, you get what you put in, okay? Some of you just really need to be more, you know, softer on yourself, more gentle with yourself. That does not mean that you do not have the responsibility to take care of yourself in a certain way. That means eating right, going to the gym, you know, if you need therapy, being, you know, going to see the therapist, having somebody to talk to, you know, it's taking care of yourself in all of the ways. You know, I'm not just talking about the way that, you know, like society tells us, oh, okay, go get your nails done, your feet, you know, your toes, your lashes. Don't get me wrong, a good hairdo always makes me feel better, but I'm talking about that deeper self-care. This is the self-care that requires self-respect. Self-respect is a form of self-care. You know, discipline is one of the highest forms, if not the highest form of self-care, right? Being disciplined, committing yourself to what you say you'll start. When you say you're going to start something, finish it. Because I feel also, even with the Ten of Wands here and the King of Pentacles here, is like I start something but I don't finish. I just be like, oh, you know, it's just too much and nothing gets done. That kind of energy, okay? So make sure that you're finishing what you start, that you're staying committed to your goals. Some of you might just be weighed down by work, maybe feeling heavy stress with work or with other, you know, priorities and responsibilities. And the Six of Swords here, yeah, again, Cancer, you've been very much so in your head, trying to find yourself. Where do I go from here? I want to clarify that that hermit. Look, the star, I'm telling you, listen, there is hope and healing here. So if you've been feeling sad, if you've been feeling down, say a prayer, be thankful. Gratitude, gratitude is so important. It's so powerful to remember to look around you and look at what you have. It might not be everything that you want, maybe not even half of what you want, but it's more than what many people have. If you have a home, food in your fridge, clothes on your back, and someone, at least one person who loves you, and you do, Cancer, okay, with the star at the bottom of the deck, this is hope and healing. Something's coming in. There's some sort of a wish fulfillment, something that's going to really make your heart happy, okay? Please clarify the hermit. Whoa. That didn't, the 10 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so I feel like some of you are trying to fight this change. That's what I feel is happening here, like trying to fight the shift, because the 10 of Swords upright is like illusions are lifted, and this is the card that says maybe somebody cheated on you, betrayed you somehow. There's some sort of hurt. In the reverse, I feel like and something that ended. In the reverse, I feel like in this situation, considering the energy that I'm picking up, is like resisting this change. What we resist persists. So if you're realizing that it's your own BS that has gotten you what you got now, it's time to do something about it. Not just sit around with our hands crossed. The 10 and 10 says you are tired, like you're done kind of thing. And I think, this is like that awakening, that rude awakening that's like, yeah, I'm done with my own BS. But where do I begin? This is about surrendering to the process, surrendering to your calling, surrendering to the shift in your life, because you're not who you were before. And this has been the message for the majority of the collective, is like a major shift has happened. And I don't think that people really realize, the shift that has taken place. Like our world our earth is undergoing a collapse, and we are in the process of being rebuilt. And if you are an intuitive person, which Cancers tend to be very intuitive and very emotional, you might be feeling the shifts that are happening. You might be feeling those changes, and you can't even understand what's happening to you. You might be feeling those growing pains, and you can't understand it. Babe, I'm telling you here, it's the universe trying to, if things are coming up for you, the universe is trying to make you aware, showing you things, showing you your own BS, showing you those shadows so that you can do something about it. This doesn't, and doing something about it doesn't mean beating yourself up. It means hopping into prayer, hopping into meditation, getting your shit straight, making your list, checking it twice. Gonna find out. No, I'm just joking. I figured I'd make it lighten up the mood a little bit. But really it's about getting your shit together, being organized, and putting, the way my friend said earlier, foot to pavement and getting going, but staying committed, staying the course. Okay, tell me about the Hermit here for Cancer. Tell me about the Hermit here for Cancer. Oh, those popped out. 7 of Swords in the reverse. I'm not going to take these. Page of Swords in the reverse. Yeah. So there's a need. It's like you don't want to see something. There's something that you don't want to see. For some of us, no, I really do feel like I'm not even going to get into that energy. I was going to say something right now, but no. Spirit said, no, this is not about a lover. This is not, no. This is about you. This is about you. The Page of Swords is somebody who, seeks knowledge, who goes for studies, who, if you have to learn, if you want to, I don't know, if you want a certain job or you want a certain position and you need to go back to school, that is what it is. The Page of Swords is like the person who's in the beginning stages, like going back to school, learning something new, getting that certification, whatever it is. And it's like, you cannot avoid the hard work. That's just that. You cannot avoid the work. You can manifest, you can journal all you want, but if you don't actually take action and make moves when it is time to make those moves, babe, that's going to be your situation. So I feel like it's time to make moves. Some of you might be considering literally moving, because this is actual movement, right? Moving from one place to another, and to another. I said other to another. Moving from one place to another. And I feel like Spirit is supporting that for you, because I feel like you're feeling like that tug that's like, oh, like I'm over this. I'm over this, but there are fears. There's a fear here. Tell me about the Hermit for Cancer. What is the Hermit for Cancer? And remember, if this is not you, it could be the energy of someone around you. Yeah, the Moon. So I feel like inside there are fears, right? Fears of going with, yeah, this is fears. This is somebody who's stressed out too. Fears of the unknown. Like, look, you know, every new chapter is going to feel a little scary because we fear the unknown. We don't know what that is. We don't know what it holds. But guess what? You know where you are now, and you know that you don't want to be there. So what's the worst that can happen? You end up back where you started. Like, you know what I mean? At least you took the chance. At least you took the risk. You know, at least you followed your heart. Look, Chariot, like, you're gonna be good. I don't know why I saw this card falling. Chariot, you're going to be good. This says, like, go. If you feel like doing something and you're being called to do something, you feel it in your heart, you feel there's just a tug, like, go. Apply for a job somewhere and you get called, it's time. It's like the universe is helping to create something, an opportunity for you, Cancer. Clarify that Six of Swords. This says upright. Yeah, six of cups. So I feel like, you know, don't let memories of the past, like, of, as far as, like, maybe you tried something and you didn't like it. And now you're just thinking, oh, well, what if I do that? And, you know, and I have to, what if I do that? What if I move and I have to come back? So what? So what? Like, I've done it. Like, I uprooted my whole life in like 30 days. I moved to Miami. I went through one of the worst times in my life, if not the. And I came back and started from the bottom, from the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. So what? It taught me so much. The entire experience taught me so much. I learned so much. I evolved so much. I grew so much. And so if Spirit is making a way for you and opening up a door, don't run from what you prayed for. If you're praying for an opportunity and you receive that opportunity, Cancer, you know, don't run from that. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have Pisces energy. You may have, you know, Pisces placements in your chart, but it is also Cancer energy, right? Do what you feel in your heart to do. Do what you feel called to do. Look, I'm going to leave it there because I can't make this shit up. Take the risk or lose the chance. The Fool says, yo, jump. What are you scared of? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? At least if you come back, let's just say that. If you come back to where you started, at least you took the risk. At least you had the experience. At least you know. Like for me, I know I will never return to Florida. Not to live. I will not go back there. I'll go back to visit my family. I'll go back to visit my sister. If my sister saw this video, she would like be so annoyed. I would go back to visit her. She's constantly trying to get me to move out there. But no, thank you. Because I already know, right? So if you go and you don't like it, okay, well, you come back. If you take the job and you don't like it, okay, well, you find another job, you know? But take the risk, especially, like, I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles, like, it's a solid opportunity, but you are scared. You're scared of your stability. You're scared because you feel like you're secure where you are now. With the Fool here, again, this is like pack light. Some of you are just like, yo, I ain't even got, if I got to get up and go, I ain't even got too much. Like, I ain't even got too much, you know? But also, Spirit wants me to point out that if you take, you know, if you take that plunge, whatever it is, right? If you accept that offer, if you surrender to that offer or that process, because some of you, it's about surrendering, right? It's about making a choice to move forward into this next phase. Even if it doesn't go as you planned or as you had hoped for, I promise you, it is going to change you. And that change is necessary for your growth and your evolution. Okay? I am going to leave you with that, Cancer. Yeah, did I pick this up? Yeah, bottom of the deck. You're afraid to like literally to leave. The Emperor in the reverse is like you're trying to control everything. You're trying to you don't want to feel like you're losing control. You're losing your foundation. All right, but you're being supported. You're being supported. Yeah, this is an awakening. Listen to the call. Judgment. Like you have a decision to make. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can, grab your life by the reins. This is about willpower, okay? Because the Chariot doesn't actually have reins on these horses. This is about your inner willpower, your strength to make a decision and be team you, okay? So whoever this is for, I really sending you lots of healing and energy and clarity so that you make the decision that's best for you. But if you're going to make a decision, don't make it based on fear. Okay? Anywho, Cancer, I hope that this resonated with you. I hope it did bring you some clarity. And if it did, please leave a comment down below. Let me know how. I love to read your comments. Give me a little like. It is free. And if you really enjoyed it, hopefully you'll come back and you consider right now, before you go, subscribing to the channel. I love you all so much. Peace, love, and light.